Okay, for question 3, the first part, we are going to perform the y-square transformation to this graph. So when we perform y-square transformation, it involves a few steps. Now the first step is for y-square, we eliminate any part of the graph that is below the x-axis. In other words, we will ignore this graph, we will ignore this part of the graph. Next, we will draw the upper half of the graph. So in this case, if you notice, I'll have this portion and this portion. Now we take a look at the x-intercept. Now in this case, the x-intercept is not a turning point. So when you draw the y-square curve, this portion will become rounded. Last but not least, all my y coordinates, the value will now become the square root. Why is this so? Because I have y squared equals to fx. So what happens to my y value? They will become the positive square root and the negative square root. Now what we are doing now is we are drawing the upper half of the graph, which is the positive square root. Then how do we insert the negative square root? Simply by reflecting the top half downwards. Okay, so let us draw the transform graph step by step. Okay, first of all, the x coordinates are not affected, so my vertical asymptote x equals to negative 6 remains. I will still have a x-intercept at 2. Now, taking y-square curve, first of all, it doesn't affect the nature of the turning point. So I will still have a minimum point. Take note, the y-axis and x equals to negative 6, they are both vertical asymptotes. Now what is the new coordinate of the minimum point? It will be minus 2 square root 9. Remember, all the y values, now their value will be square root. So over here, remember what I said about the graph at the x-intercept, it will become rounded. So this is rounded, and I will have a maximum point before it goes to the horizontal asymptote, which is the x-axis. And in this case, the maximum point has coordinate 6 square root 2. So this is the graph for the y equals to positive square root fx. But to draw the y-square curve, we need to insert a second graph, which is a negative square root. And this is obtained by reflecting whatever I have on top downwards. So in other words, I should have a mirror image. The x-axis has a mirror image. So I will have a maximum point, minus 2, minus square root 9. And I will have a minimum point here at 6, minus square root 2. So this will be your y-square transform graph. Now for the next part, we are going to look at y equals to 1 over fx transformation. But before we draw the graph, again we need to look at certain key features of the original graph. First of all, we take a look at the vertical asymptote. Under the transformation 1 over fx, it will become x-intercept. So for my original curve, I have two vertical asymptotes, x equals to negative 6, x equals to 0. So under the new graph, I will have two x-intercept, x equals to negative 6, x equals to 0. Same thing, x-intercept Under the transformation, it will become vertical asymptote. And in the original graph, I have x-intercept, x equals to 2. So now in the new graph, I will have a vertical asymptote x equals to 2. Then one more thing we need to take note is maximum point, which is minus 2, 9. Now will become a minimum point, minus 2. Take note, we are taking 1 over fx. So all my y coordinates in the graph will become the reciprocal. Maximum becomes minimum. Okay, apologies. I think I made a mistake. Okay, the maximum point I'm talking about shouldn't be minus 2, 9. It should be 6, 2. So under the new curve, it should become a minimum point, 6, half. Now we look at the minimum point of the original curve, which is minus 2, 9. So under the transformation, it will become a maximum point, minus 2, 1 over 9. So once we have the key features of new graph, we can start plotting the new graph. So I draw the axis first. Now I will have two x-intercept, minus 6 and the origin. Similarly, I will have also a vertical asymptote, x equals to 2, and I should have a maximum point, 2, 1 over 9. So maybe I can label a curve like this to indicate that I have a maximum point. Also, I should have a minimum point, 6, half. Okay, so let us join the curve now. So for this portion, since I have a minimum point, I should come down and then go all the way back up. And here I should have a maximum point, and I need to cut through minus 6 and 0. So one way is to draw like this. Okay, sorry for my drawing. And connect like this. Down. Okay, and this will be the curve for 1 over fx.